Okay, so where we left off on the last video was the overall rating. So that's where you pop in your rating. We talked about that with a score out of 33. The next section that you will need to concentrate on is all about development needs. So this is where you really start to build that development plan for your team member. So again, we are looking at the two sides of the scale. So those below 14 and those above 25 will need a development plan completed. Why you're asking a person who has scored 25 and above? Well, actually, what it's all about is just really um, sharing those successes, letting them know exactly what they're doing right, and actually how they can elevate that further. And you can then give them some hints and tips on elevation of their skill set already and really start to progress that even more and more, because they could have in the back of their head that their next step is, camp deputy manager, for example. So it'd be good for them to understand how they can really start to elevate their performance. If they are then the opposite end of the scale and they are 14 or below, this is where you really need to start structuring some of that development plans for them. So it's really about saying, oh, actually, what is it that the skills gap is, or the behavior gap is? So is it the fact that they need to work on their communication a little bit better? Is it the fact that they need to really start to understand the activity better? Is it the fact that actually that age range isn't possibly working? However, they will still need to work with the majority, but let's start maybe with this age range first, or an age range that they feel comfortable at, and then start to stretch their ability even further. So it's about bullet pointing again, not War and Peace, what that is for them. Below, just here, as you can see, it just says, have you actually had that conversation with your team member? Have you created a plan for this individual? So that's a yes or a no. Obviously, it's a yes if you've then inputted what they need to do, and if you haven't, then it's a no. So those are those two areas. Again, when you have completed everything, the page again will auto save, or again, you'll press save just here. So really key and important. Now, again, as I said previous, you can go in and out of the form as many times as you want. Please do, before you completely close out the form, which is actually marked as complete, give your team member chance to go on their phone onto their form and input whatever comments they would like to input to. And then once those are done, they need to come and tell you that they've put some comments in, and then that's where you will mark as complete. So by doing so, as we said, if you mark everything off and close everything off at the end of camp, then actually you can go back into the form and input anything you want before you close the form out. Now, if you mark as complete too early, unfortunately, you cannot go back in, you cannot add comments, and you cannot do anything. Not a problem, because I'm going to show you very quickly how you can then assign a new form, because you have full access to do so. But as soon as you are happy with everything in the form, you're going to click mark as complete. This will come up with a checker box saying, are you sure you want to mark this as complete? And then you will press confirm. Once you've pressed confirm, that will then close out the form completely and show us up as complete. It will then ping an email off to your team member to say that you have now signed this off. Brilliant. So we're not going to do that now for the sake, because this is a training video, but what I'll do is I'll show you how you can assign a new form. So we will go back to the dashboard, which is just here. And then this is your main dashboard. You're going to use your menu on your left-hand side. As you can see here, click Learning and Development and Assign Learning. Then it will bring up the main assigning page. We don't want to assign a module, because that's fine. And we're going to use this menu on the left here. We don't want to assign a module. We don't want to assign any external training, but we do want to assign the observation form, which is held, as I said previously, in My Career Journey. So I'm going to click that. We're going to use a drop down arrow, and we are then going to pick the form. There are quite a few forms, because we have quite a few across IL. So the form you are looking for is CB dash My Performance and Development Journey. That is the form for Camp Beaumont. If you just remember CB at the front, that's what we're looking for. We won't put in a due date because actually you can do that at another stage, and we're going to click next. The next page will come up with all of your learners, i.e. all of your team members in your camp. And the beauty of this is you can assign more than one person. So for example, we're gonna find Jacob. So we're just gonna put that, and then we found Jacob. So sorry, Jacob, I do apologize, but we've decided we want to reassign him, so that's fine. So we can go back to the main list. And then if you want to assign another couple of people, sorry, Heidi, we're going to reassign you and Darcy, then you can actually do 2 or 3 people at a time, not just one person, which makes it so much slicker and easier. So once you have decided who you want to reassign the form to, you are then going to click next. Now, at the top, it automatically will send off an email to them. For all in training purposes, we won't be sending an email to them, but that will permanently stay on, and it's a good idea because it just lets them know. And then you're going to click Review Learning. Once, as you can see, it now says 3 learners will be issued this particular course. We're going to confirm and assign. Once we've confirmed and assigned, this is essentially your receipt to say what you've done. So you can click on the arrow to say my performance development journey, and then you can click just to see the 3 people just to check. And that is quite simply how you assign a new form. If you do need any extra support, what we're going to be doing is these videos will be on your main resource, which is your instructions basically on my observation journey and how to get into it. We'll put a QR code at the bottom for you. So with the 2 videos, so if you need to know about a certain part, you can just scan the QR code, and the videos, they'll all be hosted on YouTube under IL L&D. So you'll be able to view those. For any extra support with anything that you need, just contact training admin inbox and we will get back to you.